the top of this wall is not level. It's way off. So it's got a sag in it, so when the last person came through here and they fixed the bathroom floor...
I'm just going to start this video off with a bang. This is more demolition. I have to tear off the drywall if I'm going to rebuild this wall. The previous renovator didn't bother to make the ceiling level, and didn't bother to make the floor level, or to bother to make the walls plumb. And he insulated between the kitchen and bathroom, presumably to reduce the noise. It's usually a single person living in this house, but if there are multiple people, they won't hear each other when one is in the bathroom and one is in the kitchen. Or maybe it was to keep the mice from living in the walls, who knows. Maybe to provide them some nesting material.
Well, that didn't take it long at all. Alright, so we've got new studs, new cat. Somebody screwed it in with, thanks, Phillips screws, jerk. And there is a nasty lamp over the bathroom sink. And yeah, I was just got excited and broke the drain pipe coming out of the kitchen's bathroom sink. Fun stuff. Here's the old 2x4 and the new 2x4. Oh, I see. It's furred out in the bathroom. Nice. Well, okay, so they've used these new 2x4s to fur out the bathroom, but they didn't bother to fix the ceiling before they did any of that. That's okay. So here's a new kitchen wall, a new bathroom wall, kitchen wall, and at this point we start into the shower surround, and a little bit of green board, it looks like, right above the shower surround. That's good stuff. That looks pretty good back there. What a mess this is. Looks like we had some mouse infestation, maybe. But yeah, overall fun stuff. This is going to make leveling the floors a lot easier if I can just take all these studs out, or some of them out, and work with it that way. Wow. It's a bit of a mess. And you can tell that whoever was here before didn't care much about their work. Well, that one's off level the other direction. I mean, there's no sense in making your studs plumb. Oh, that one's actually plumb. And that one's off plumb again. So I'm looking at this big gap behind the bathroom sink, and I'm wondering why whoever was here before me put in no medicine cabinet, but instead just a mirror above the sink. Let's look at the other side. So there it is. It's just a mirror right above the sink basin, and the sink basin, sure enough, right on level. I mean, it's plumb as can be. The floor's plumb. Everything's great. Whoever did this work did okay, but because they tied it into the existing work in the kitchen, which sags, I can't jack up the kitchen without destroying all this work. So that's going to be fun. So instead of wasting your time making you watch me pull out all of the drywall screws, I just did that off camera, and I started backing out screws for some of these studs, and they don't appear to be load bearing. So I'm going to pull out one at a time just to see. And if one turns out to be load bearing, then I'll work with that. But this is where I'm at now. buddy.
What's happening?
Just vacuuming up some mess. What you reckon?
It's another day in paradise, bro.
I do declare.
Hell yeah.
You want to be on the camera? Let's see.
No, I don't want to be on the camera.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Come on.
No. I know
Hey,
I'm
everybody, this
charged-
is my friend Scoot.
I know I'm in charge for this.
So, look at the back of this wall. You can see the studs are all crooked and
That looks like I put it
off
up.
plumb. I don't know what they were thinking. They probably had a powerful sense of can't see it from my house, and they thought, yeah, that's good enough.
Is it my eye, or is this sagging also?
It's sagging there. Yeah, that's why I'm tearing this wall out. I have to rebuild the whole wall.
Damn.
Man, not that big a deal. I've done harder stuff. So in order to level this floor, I have to tear this wall out because the floor in the bathroom is level, but the wall at the bottom is level in the bathroom, but the top of the wall in the bathroom and in the kitchen sags. And if I try to put my kitchen cabinets,
Yeah, they're not gonna match.
if I put the
They're
wall
not gonna
cabinets up there, they're not going to sit right. And it's
Yeah.
going to look really ugly. I'm going to have to pretend and put in a bunch of trim, and it's going to be really obvious. I don't want to do that. So rather than do a half-assed job, I am putting in all the effort beforehand. Boy, is that hot. I think I'll wait for that one to cool off a little bit.
A few moments later.
Alright, all that's left is this base sill, and it's just floating there. It's just hanging out. There's nothing holding it in place except for this piece of PVC, so I need to climb under the house and cut that. That'll be fun. Well, I guess I could just cut it right there. Oh, what the heck. There we go. Perfect.
So after I tore up this wall, I got myself a nice long look at the floor under the bathroom, and where I thought that it had been leveled, I was wrong. In fact, it's just as bad as the rest of the house. What they did in order to make it look level was lower the floor against the outside wall of the house so that it was the same level as this low spot in the middle of the house. So only this spot where you stand while you're in the bathroom is level. Under the tub, absolutely slopes down and you lose about an inch. And coming in from the center of the house above that beam here to the middle of the bathroom, it's again 1 inch. So in order to fix the bathroom, I have to level the house, level the floor just 1 inch. Additionally, the plumbing is on the outside wall, and boy, I hate that when it comes to bathroom plumbing, especially on the bathtub, because if you try to fix it, you have to cut open the side of the house. And I just don't like that. Additionally, this faucet system, this manifold, is really out of date. That is just old, and nobody wants to use that. So I'm going to level the bathroom, so prepare for more demolition. This guy had so many drywall screws, and he was just prepared to use them anywhere. This is not a good spot for drywall screws.
Alright, so I got most of the bathroom floor up where you stand, and then I realized I need to walk on that while I'm pulling out this shower surround. So I've put this back temporarily. And I put a screw right there so that if this part slips off of the blocking, it still won't let me fall into the crawl space. Just a little quick commentary. So there was a lot of debris under here. In fact, you can still see a lot of debris under there from outside, leaves and whatnot. And I thought it was strange that workers would leave that there, and began to assume that there had been some rodent activity. And now I'm looking at the insulation, and you can see channels like an ant farm where the rodents have come up and done stuff with the insulation that somebody left behind in the wall. So what I'm suspecting is that underneath the drain here and behind the tub, there's a giant opening that allows mice and rats to ingress into the building. It was just as I expected. Just a big open box around the plumbing bits that allow the rodents to come in. So your mice and your rats and maybe squirrels, I don't know, come in here and they make a big mess. So they're nesting in here using the insulation as nesting bits, just clawing it up. And that's to be expected. So yeah, when you don't care about your work, this is what it looks like. Gotta give extra special thanks to the last tenant for never cleaning the hair out of the drain. Wow. That was a very difficult board to pull up. I used a lot of nails. Or I'm very soft. One of the other two. So here, oh, I see. Construction adhesive. Classy. Alright, whatever, dude. So you can see here where somebody has been in and lowered the outside of the floor against the outside wall in order to make it look right. It doesn't have to be right, it's just to look right. And you can see a little spot there where mice and squirrels or rats can get in and out. And the activity of said rats and mice. Because people just don't care. Like, well, that's good enough. But I'm going to fix all this. Let me finish demolishing this bathroom. Well, I think I'm going to leave this block in there, as it's really tight, and I think it's going to be load bearing for this sill plate. So I'm just going to leave it in there and then laminate it with the correct height of floor joist, which will become part of the header joist. So this 2x4 goes way back to the center of the house, to that beam back there, and holds up this part of the floor between the bedroom and the bathroom. But it's off level just a little bit, and this is one of the things I just never bothered to fix. And I can't lever it up because it's apparently nailed to this 2x6 poked into this hole. Alright, so I have to disconnect them. There we go. That is much better. So I'm going to fasten this 2x6 down and then fasten this to that 2x6. Let's hope that works. Before I start nailing everything in place, or screwing that is, let me just check on my levels. That one's way off. Right in here, you can see that one's way off. That's half a bubble. And over here, that's almost half a bubble as well. And that's from the edge of the house over to this spot. Alright, so now that bubble is darn close. That bubble is much closer. I think this has to go up just a little more. Yep, you can actually see it moving in this next room. And this one's much closer. So I think this is going to be a winner. I caught you that time. Alright. So that bubble is looking much better now. That one's near perfect. I'm going to settle for that. And, well, I know that one's good. Enough. So now that I have the bathroom open, I can get a good look at it. There on the left, you'll see that there's a subfloor, 3/4 inches, and some hardwood that also 3/4 inches. And in order to measure whether or not this is level, at the other end of the room, I put a 2x4, which is 1.5 inches. So it's 1.5 inches at the right, 1.5 inches at the left, and right in the middle, that bubble is dead on. But you can see in the middle there's a big gap. That's 1.25 inches. So I have to figure out a way to level out these two floor joists and reinforce them such that they never sag again. So I've made up my mind on what to do with this bathroom floor. I've decided to re-engineer it so that it's on 2x8s spread on 16-inch centers. So in order to do that, I have to cut out this bowed piece of wood with the crown up, facing down, pointing down. This one too, but I have to leave in part of it because it's nailed to the subfloor, or the subfloor is nailed to it. So what I'll do is I'll cut it here, here, and then all this nonsense will have to go away. And then I'll put a 2x8 against this one. That's going to get me out to about 17 inches. And then one here on 16 inches. One here at 32. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 8 2x8s. And it'll work fine after that. Put in some blocking and there shouldn't be any issues. In order to start holding this part up while I'm cutting out the garbage, I have to eliminate the old 60 amp cord coming in from the old meter box, which runs over into this wall. So I'm going to cut open the wall and let's see if I can find it. There it is. So I have to find the other end of this before I can start cutting. It's right in there somewhere. Fortunately for me, this wall wasn't installed very well. So I'm actually just able to reach underneath the wall with my handy dandy keyhole saw and poke around until I find the cord, which is right there. And there's the stud. There it is. Harmless. Okay, that's not going to be a big deal. That's it for the demolition. Now I can commence with more leveling. But before I do that, I'm going to eliminate some of this dirt that's underneath the house. That way when I'm moving around in the crawl space, it's a little bit easier for me. I'm going to do it just like that. And as you can see, 15 5-gallon buckets of dirt, along with a bunch of tree roots, have been hauled away from here. In the next video, you'll see me leveling the bathroom floor along with the rest of the house. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you learned a lot.